This story dominated the conversation in Metro Atlanta, and it's not over.
Life is somewhat back to normal here on Buford Highway. Tonight we're learning if the road here is safe for the morning commute.
Metro Atlanta families sue a major dental practice saying dentists used contaminated water that caused serious infections.
Flirting with freezing. The cold air is here not only for tonight, but also for tomorrow night. I'll break down the new watches and warnings.
Plus, is this an Amazon preview? Facebook sets up shop in the ATL. All right, attention DeKalb County students and parents. School is open tomorrow. Attention folks who work in DeKalb County, your office will be open. But if you live in DeKalb, looks like you're going to have to boil your water until the weekend, as will some local hospitals. And the water pressure won't get back to normal for another 48 hours. So the water main break disaster is somewhat under control tonight, but what a day. In the words of my friend Crash Clark, who's been covering traffic in this town for more than 2 decades, this was the worst water main break ever. The video from earlier today shocking parts of Buford Highway looking like Lake Doraville. So how much damage was caused by all this water? Joe Hankey joins us now to answer that question. What's the answer, Joe?
Well, Vinny, in some places the damage is severe. In other places there really isn't much to report. Now tonight we are learning some answers about what might have caused today's mess. But first, those crews behind me, we're told they're going to be out here around the clock until this water main is fixed. There is some damage we're learning to Buford Highway here in the area. And for anyone whose water is now running again, this is still going to be a countywide headache, even for those folks, for a couple days.
As DeKalb County crews work tonight to fix the 60-foot stretch of water main pipe which burst early this morning, nearby businesses are also cleaning up. Atlanta Wholesale Company is the closest business to the water main.
Our boxes are soaked, and this all has new merchandise that has never even been touched.
There is so much moisture still inside the store, it kept fogging up our camera lens. This morning, several inches of water destroyed jewelry, watches, belt buckles, and other fashion accessories.
It's definitely gone down since the morning. The fact that you can even see the floor is a big difference.
Outside, water covered Buford Highway between Longmire Way and McElroy Road for several hours after the break. The bursting pipe forced schools, government offices, businesses, and even some healthcare facilities to shut down for much, if not the whole day. A GDOT spokeswoman told 11 Alive on Buford Highway inspectors found, quote, some affected core in the southbound curb lane. The county, though, reopened Buford Highway after learning the damage does not put drivers at risk.
Not anything detriment that will collapse the roadway and endanger any traffic.
As water pressure now returns for many across DeKalb, the water woe moving forward will be a boil advisory. Until test results show the water is safe, anyone using DeKalb County water should boil it for at least 1 minute.
By afternoon Saturday, we should kind of have an idea of what we're looking at with lifting the boil water advisory.
And as new pieces of pipe arrive tonight, next door to the water main break, Atlanta Wholesale staff have now added up nearly $70,000 in damaged product.
It's our only source of income, and it's just crazy how you can walk in one day and everything just ends up being like everything on the floor is basically ruined from what we can see.
Joe, do we know what caused all this?
Well, Vinny, we are getting some early answers from DeKalb County tonight. They say a storm sewer either running parallel or perpendicular with the water main collapsed at some point. When that collapsed, the water main behind us lost its support and then also collapsed. And so far, DeKalb County, they have not put a price tag on the water main damage and the infrastructure that is also damaged around it. Vinny?
All right, Joe Hankey, thanks so much. All right, let's put some perspective on all this now. We pulled the latest numbers we have for DeKalb County water losses. A 2015 audit, the county lost 3.5 billion gallons because of leaks and water main breaks. And that's enough water to fill every single tank at the Georgia Aquarium 350 times. Now, we asked for the 2016 and 2017 stats to see if DeKalb has improved. We're still waiting for that information. Now, we're not piling on DeKalb right now. Several counties have issues with money going down the drain. DeKalb's losses in 2015 were $245 million. Fulton County, $326 million. Gwinnett, more than $200 million. And tonight we're hearing there are shortages of bottled water all over that part of DeKalb County, and there is some good news to come out of all this. One of the buildings that had no water at all was a hospice not far from Buford Highway. They were desperate, so our Bill Liss and the 11 Alive Help Desk stepped in. We contacted Home Depot, who then rushed a truck filled with bottled water and sanitary wipes to the Hospice Atlanta Center. And as you can see, they all were very grateful. Now, while all this is going on, the head of the county's water department says he's leaving, but it has nothing to do with the water main break. Earlier this week, Scott Towler announced he's quitting as DeKalb watershed director. He's accusing county officials of asking him to break the law. One of Towler's missions as watershed director was to clean up all the massive billing errors. Over the years, thousands of customers were overcharged millions of dollars because of old, faulty water meters. Well, DeKalb CEO Michael Thurman called Towler, quote, a disgruntled employee. All right, going to the dentist is not something I don't think any of us look forward to, but we have to go. So imagine you take your child for a simple procedure and they end up in the hospital because the dentist used contaminated water. Well, that's happened to 24 Metro Atlanta families, and now some of them are suing the major local dental practice. Faith Abube joins us now with the story. And Faith, this lawsuit just filed, right?
Yeah, that's right, Vinny. And this is huge. Dentistry for Children is one of the largest dental practices in the state of Georgia. They have about 24 locations across the state. And the lawsuit says not only were they using contaminated water that exposed 1,300 patients to a bacteria that could cause TB and leprosy, they also allegedly performed unnecessary procedures.
We're supposed to be the best and most trusted, and I guess they weren't.
Dentistry for Children has long moved from this location in Jonesboro, but families of some of their former patients say they still carry scars of what happened after their visits.
Ordeal now, she's scared to go to the dentist, even to get her teeth cleaned. She's terrified. For the rest of her life, she's going to be afraid to go to the dentist.
She is Scott Glover's 10-year-old daughter, Leslie, lying here helpless as doctors worked to nurse her back to health in 2015. Leslie had gone to the dentist for a baby root canal and ended up in the hospital.
She was admitted for 7 days.
7 days of pain and swelling and abscesses caused by a bacteria the CDC traced back to the dental practice. 24 people got severely ill. The results of a CDC investigation revealed the dental office was using contaminated water for procedures and not properly cleaning water lines at the end of the day.
The most well-known dentistry for children in Georgia. I mean, you would expect more out of a larger corporation.
2 years after the last patient left the hospital, 11 families say they're coming together to hold Dentistry for Children accountable.
Maybe this will shed light on procedures and practices throughout the country, because I don't think any parent ever wants to have to go through that.
And we reached out to Dentistry for Children, and they sent us a statement this evening that says, in part, we offer our deepest sympathies to those who've been affected by the situation. They also tell us the facility underwent an extensive renovation and deep cleaning after that outbreak, and right now they are in full compliance with the health department.
All right, thanks so much, Faith. High school and college students here in Metro Atlanta plan to march as part of a national protest against gun violence.
While we're only teenagers, throughout our lives, we've seen gun violence within our own communities, within other communities.
That's good. Yeah.
The March for Our Lives is being spearheaded by the Parkland, Florida students who survived that school shooting last month. A local version is taking place in Atlanta. These students are helping to plan it and have already received 18,000 RSVPs.
We're expecting it to be bigger than the Women's March in Atlanta, and we're super excited about it for everyone, not just students, but everyone who supports common sense gun legislation to come out.
All right, this event is taking place on Saturday, March 24th. It's beginning at the Center for Civil and Human Rights in downtown Atlanta. And Faith, back with us with more of our big stories in the Speed Feed. Faith?
Yeah, that's right, Vinny. Tonight, a lot of stories to catch you up on. And the first story is the fact that there is a search right now for a man accused of repeatedly raping a 12-year-old girl in southeast Atlanta. Police tell us 28-year-old Shelton Brown, now on Atlanta's most wanted list. They say that he might be traveling right now with his 1-year-old son and his girlfriend, and they think he's still in this area, possibly in Decatur. And tonight, the Florida House has passed a school safety bill that includes a program to arm some teachers and includes new restrictions on rifle sales. The bill is in response to the school shooting that happened on February 14th and killed 17 people in Parkland, Florida. The bill now heads to Florida Governor Rick Scott's desk, and Scott says he'll speak with family members of those killed before signing it. And back here at home, the Fulton County Commission has weighed in on a gun debate, and today the board passed a non-binding resolution asking the state and federal officials to ban the sale of assault-style rifles and also raise the age limit for buying a gun at 21 and also end the sale of bump stocks and high-capacity magazines. 5 voted yes. 2 commissioners decided not to vote at all on the measure.
But I don't think it's our place to weigh in on gun laws in this country because we have no authority over that.
So I'm sitting here scratching my head as to why or how someone could fix their mind or their mouth to not support an effort that all residents of Fulton County are safe and healthy.
And finally, Facebook coming to Georgia. Governor Nathan Deal and the social media company announced today a new data center will be built in Newton County. The center will run on 100% renewable energy. And Vinny, Facebook expects to finish construction by 2020, which means maybe Amazon is on its way too.
Could be. All right, Faith. They're all coming here. Everybody's here. Hey, slowly but surely, attorneys and a judge getting ready to pick that jury in the Tex MacGyver trial. So what can we expect as the high-profile case moves forward? My legal dream team, Defense Attorney Daryl Cohen and prosecutor LaTonya Hines, breaking it down next.
The freeze watch we told you about earlier has now been upgraded to a freeze warning on the west side, and now a new freeze watch that is in effect for tomorrow night into Friday morning for even more counties. We'll break down those counties and let you know when you'll see the best chance for seeing freezing temperatures.